Hey everybody, happy Monday again. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the meta. There's a couple of adjustments coming. Do not forget, on Tuesday, the patch is going to have some nerfs and some buffs. They're going to make some little tweaks to the meta. I don't think anything significant, but there will always be adjustments to what's being played and what's not being played when any type of nerfs or buffs happen. So your mileage may vary. In terms of win rates right now, Hunter's looking good, Paladin's looking good, and Warlock's looking good. And if you look at the nerfs, you'll see some adjustments to a couple of those cards that are played in those decks. So there's going to be, like I said, some tweaks. Demon Hunter is low, Warrior is still low, but remember, as I say every single time, I should just record this part so I don't have to say it anymore. There is bronze through gold decks that you can play 100% above 50% win rate. So let's go over the classes from the past few days or what have you. Listen, you'll hear a lot of influencers or a lot of individuals that are talking about Hearthstone and says, oh my god, Death Knight is terrible, Death Knight is terrible. In bronze through gold, it is not terrible at all. Plague Death Knight, 56%. Blood Death Knight, 52%. Frost Dead Knight, 52% as well. The only difference is between how Death Knight was faring a few months ago is the decks increased in expense. It's more expensive to play the Death Knight, but you still probably have quite a few cards in there that you should be able to add to your Death Knight decks. So don't knock this when you hear an influencer saying that, oh yeah, Death Knight is terrible, only because most likely they could be talking from a different ladder rank than you. So a lot of the influencers are talking about, just on the legend status or the diamond status or what have you. So pay attention to that. Demon Hunter, it is right though. Demon Hunter Relic is the only one that has any significance right now. Outcast just plummeted again. It isn't as good as it was a few weeks ago, understandably so, but Relic Demon Hunter's interesting to play. If you like Demon Hunter, obviously give that one a shot, because that's your only chance right now. Druid, Treant and Druid and Thaddeus Druid are all doing great right now. The only thing is, Thaddeus is getting nerfed on Tuesday, so most likely this one will see some adjustments. But 54,000 games with Treant Druid with a 62% average win rate. That's pretty good, and this deck right here, the Treant Druid, is super cheap. Hunter is just as crazy as it is. I mean, just like it was before. Hound Hunter, top of the heap. Whether it is the 30-card version or the 40-card version, it's just happening all around. I see it all the time. No matter what I'm playing, I'm seeing Hound Hunter I'm playing against. Secret Hunter, it's coming up there. Secret Hunter is very powerful as well. I don't know if I would play one or the other, but rounding out the third of the best is Big Beast Hunter. That is, it only has 7,800 games right now. And remember, these are recorded games through Hearthstone Deck Tracker or what have you. So this doesn't mean every single solitary game that's been played, there's only been 7,800. It's not the case, but it's coming up there. The popularity isn't as good as it probably will be later on. But remember also, like I said, nerfs are happening with this class, so maybe we'll see some tweaks. Mage, Rainbow Mage, I want to love it. I thought it was great. I thought it was busted. It's great now where it is, but once you hit gold or once you go anything to gold 5, you're going to have a hard time with this deck. I just couldn't get anything moving once I hit gold rank. I couldn't get a win with this. Mech Mage is super popular like it usually is. Mech Mage also is a lot cheaper than than some of these other decks. And Secret Mage is coming up. But Rainbow, if you can, you can get a good win rate from Rainbow and start hitting the ranks pretty heavily right up until I say gold. Paladin, it is what it is. Between Pure and between Mech, it's running. The Pure Paladin archetype right now, I'm not a huge fan of. It's just not as cool as I liked it from the past previous couple of expansions. That's just my own personal preference, but it is very powerful. Mech Paladin is also powerful. Your mileage may vary. Earthen Paladin, it's not there. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be there. Maybe during the mini set, there'll be something that makes Earthen great, but I don't think Earthen Paladin is anything to call your mom home about. Priest. Control Priest, it is still popular. The win rate is high. Undead Priest, the win rate is higher, but it's not as popular. It doesn't make sense to me, most likely because of the expansion and the new cards being played in the expansion. And Undead Priest really has no new cards, but it's also super cheap. So 57% on a super cheap deck, I'll take that any day of the week. Rogue. Mech Rogue is super powerful. Big Rogue is super powerful. Secret Rogue is super powerful. Mech Rogue is fun. Mech Rogue is nutty. It is a little expensive because you need a couple of the legendaries from this expansion, but it's a fun deck to play. Shaman, Nature, Totem, Big, Evolve. Take your pick. All of them are good. Nature is a little bit nutty, a little bit busted. Bioluminescence is getting nerfed this week, so maybe there'll be some tweaks here and there. But listen, if you don't want to play Bioluminescence, just go to Totem, because Totem is right there between 2,000 different games being played from both of those, so you can just switch without a problem. If Shaman is the class that you like to play, you're fine. You have nothing to worry about. Warlock. Thaddeus Warlock is high up there, but again, Thaddeus is being nerfed, so I think it's going to go lower. We've got Cursed to round it out. We have Control. We have Imp Warlock. So if you love Warlock, Warlock is back again. I am a big fan of the Control Warlock. I put on my channel a playthrough, and I love the deck. It's the Loken Control Warlock deck. It's super fun. I don't think there'll be any problems playing that. It doesn't have Thaddeus in it. You don't need it. Give that a shot. Take a look at the video if you're interested in playing that deck. It's still viable today. And then Warrior. Listen, Warrior's way down when you're looking at the win rates, the total win rates. Warrior is number 11 right here, 43.4%. But if you go here, it doesn't look like it. You guys are fine. Make sure if you're going on to hsreplay.net, which you should be paying for premium, absolutely. Look at the win rates, but don't just look at the win rates. Don't say, okay, can't play Warrior, it's garbage. If you are bronze through gold, absolutely take a look at this class section, and you have many things to deal with. Enrage Warrior, Rock and Roll Warrior, Menagerie Warrior, all above 50%, and there are a couple of cards that are being buffed on Tuesday, so I think Control might just eke out a little bit above 50%. That's my personal opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go through Donkey.top to go over a couple of the decks that I would consider taking a look at if you're bronze through gold. Understandable, I'm looking at this from as low of a cost in dust as possible. So let's go ahead with Death Knight. Like I said, Death Knight is a lot more expensive than it used to be. You used to be able to get away with less than 5,000 total arcane dust to play one of these, and it's really not the case anymore. The likelihood that you have right now is you have this Undead Death Knight at 53.6%. I'll go ahead and I will leave the links for some of these in the description below so you don't have to find it. I would look at the Unholy. I can't believe I said Undead. Unholy Death Knight is where I would look at in terms of the amount of dust that you have. Next one to go through, Demon Hunter. Yeah, Relic is not that great. Relic is not that oh my god situation, but there is some lower cost decks. There's like two of them. Two of them are Outcast. It's not that great, but give it a shot, especially if you have a lot of these cards already. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit different when you're in the bronze through the gold ranks. Definitely try out Demon Hunter. It's a fun deck in my opinion. It's just not as popular as it used to be. Druid, you have so many opportunities with Druid. Look, you have 2,280 dust for Treant Druid. None of these main ones have any legendaries in it. So you'll be in good shape there. I think Topior is the only one on most of these. Besides this one, the one that has two legendaries is 4,400 dust. So definitely consider Druid, and Druid is pretty high up there. Hunter, I love Hunter. I love Hunter as a player that has all the cards that I need, but Hunter's very expensive. 23,000, 23,000, 20,000, 18,000. And I bet you I might see like the 30,000 deck, but don't worry about it. Listen, if you want to play something, play Arcane Hunter. Arcane is only 7,320 dust. You cannot go wrong with that. Next one, let's go to Mage. We've talked about Mage. Mage does not have a lot going for it, but you can pull out Mech Mage for 8,000 dust. You can pull out Secret Mage for 7,200 dust. There's absolutely options there for you. Again, I will leave all of these in the description below, at least one from each class. Paladin, you've got Mech and you've got Pure Paladin, and most of them are a little bit more expensive. So if you have, the cheapest opportunity here is the Pure Paladin for 7,480 dust. It is a good deck. It is a powerful deck. It is a deck that's winning games through bronze, through gold. Let's see, next one, Priest. We talked about Priest. Priest is cheap, not as cheap as it used to be, but you can get the Shadow Aggro Priest in a couple of variations for around 4,200 to 4,400 dust. So give that a shot if you're interested. Control is more expensive. Control is like 9,000 or above. You can see here, Control Priest, 12,500. 15,000, 18,000, 12,000. So unless you have a lot of priest cards, stick with the Shadow Aggro. Okay, Rogue is a different animal. It's very cheap. Mech Rogue is 5,100. Mech Rogue here is 5,100. There's a bunch of Mech Rogues here, lower cost, below 10,000. I normally like to go below 8,000, but there is options here. Understand that Mech Rogue is a little bit difficult to pilot. It's not super simple. 1, 2, 3 done. It takes a lot of thought and a lot of configuration. Considering their Titans and their mechs, configuration makes perfect sense for me to say that. Shaman is between 5,600 to 8,900 dust here for whether it's nature, whether it's totem, whether it's regular Shaman. You have options here if you have something below 7,000, 8,000 dust that you're wanting to play, and all of Shaman right now is pretty good. You can't lose with Shaman. Warlock. Now, Warlock has always been a little bit expensive, in my opinion, at least for the past few expansions. So you're looking at above, I don't think I can find anything here with a positive win rate below 10,000 dust. So yeah, here's an Abyssal Warlock, but it's right at 50% at 9,600 dust. So listen, Warlock is fun. Warlock used to be one of my favorite classes until I started getting more into Paladin, but Warlock is still super fun. It's just very expensive. So if you're going to start dusting stuff or start crafting stuff, I would definitely wait. You could also sit there and try to test out if you've never used or never had Thaddeus yet. Thaddeus in a few days is going to be full dust refund because it's being nerfed. So you could buy it now. You could try some things, see if you like it. If you don't like it, just dust it for the refund. So think of it as like a trial period with Thaddeus. Do I think it's going to completely be decimated? After talking with the groups, I don't think it's going to be entirely decimated, but it is something for you to consider just in case you do want to try it and you have a lot of these cards. Last one, Warrior. Warrior is getting a bunch of buffs, so I think there's some opportunities here. I think Warrior is going to move up a little tiny bit. It might not be crazy amount, but it should do something a little bit higher than normal, and you can find Enraged Warriors and then the regular Warriors for about 7,520 dust, give or take. There's options there as well. So one of the things I wanted to mention is, like I said, I'll leave a description of one of these decks for each one of the classes below. Please let me know what your thoughts are on these videos. This series was meant to help everybody able to go through all of the expansions and have the cheapest potential as possible to get out of bronze through gold and keep on moving up. I don't do a lot of legend decks like, oh, you can get this at legend, you can get this at legend. Some of the ones I talk about absolutely can get you through the legend, but that's not really what I'm doing. But let me know if you want me to start talking above bronze through gold. It's a little disingenuous for me to sit there and say, oh, I played this one in legend, because I'm not legend right now. I don't have enough time to get to legend right now. I'm working on it, but things are few and far between. But right now, bronze through gold, I love what I'm doing to be able to provide this content. It helps me as well, because I'm looking at how the meta is shaping up, and it helps me understand the decks that are being played and the amount of cards and what cards my opponent is playing when I am actually playing the game. So if you like what I'm doing, like and subscribe. Please leave a comment. Let me know if you want me to start moving some things around with this series. And until I see you next time, have a great week.